Following back-to-back 8-1 losses to non-league foes, the Muckdogs return to PGCBL action with a West Division showdown against the Doubledays. Batavia holds on to the #1 seed in the West for dear life, while Auburn tries to make a late rally to snatch the Western crown. The playoffs inch closer and closer with each day that passes, proving every regular season game to be pivotal. It's the Muckdogs and Doubledays, and it starts right here, right now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another iteration of Muckdogs Baseball. Jared Valentin, solo for now, but my co-pilot, Landon Washburn, should be joining me in the booth in a few minutes. But until then, we talk about Batavia's recent outings. They're currently on a 4-game losing streak if you count the 2 non-league exhibition games against Syracuse and Buffalo. But dating back to league play, Batavia comes off of 2 straight losses, 1 to Auburn and 1 to Jamestown. And the Muckdogs have lost back-to-back games for the first time this year. And coming at a time when the Muckdogs are trying to clinch the #1 seed, every loss is painting the Muckdogs and gives everyone else in the division a closer chance of evening their record and coming back to take the #1 seed. Diving into the Doubledays as my co-pilot Landon Washburn finally with me in the booth. Took him a second, but here he is. Landon, welcome to the broadcast. I was just telling the fans about Batavia's late struggles. They come off of 2 losses in league play and 2 exhibition losses, 4 in a row if you count those non-league games. And for the Muckdogs, the struggle has really been at the plate lately.
Yeah, for the Muckdogs, only putting up 1 run in Jamestown, the second loss a couple of days ago, and the 2 non-league games, only putting up 1 run against those 2 teams, the Syracuse Saltcats, and just last night the Buffalo Diesel. Obviously, those games don't count towards the end of the season, but still, you'd like to get some momentum and runs on the board. Unable to do so the last 2 games. So tonight's a big one for the Muckdog season as Auburn looks to make that very late push to hold the 1 seed in the PGCBL West Division.
Every win matters when you take a look at the PGCBL West Division standings. Batavia still in front at 26-7-1, but just 6.5 games back is Auburn, the opponent today, at 20-14-1. 19-15 of the Elmira Pioneers, they're still in 3rd, and Jamestown trying to make a late push for the 4th seed and lock it up compared to Geneva and Newark. Jamestown at 16-20, but right behind their tail are the Red Wings at 13-18, just a half game out of that 4th place spot. And when you look at the West Division playoffs, it's the first 4 teams that get in. So if you're that 5th seed like Geneva is right now, you're trying your hardest to get to that 4th seed, to be in the playoffs and face the Muckdogs in the first round.
And you know what they say, anything can happen in baseball. Obviously, the Muckdogs have gotten the better half of Geneva throughout the season. But it's playoff baseball, anything can happen. All it takes is 1 game, and in that playoff bracket in the West Division, it is just the best of 1 series until the final in the East Division.
Precisely, and if you look at the 2 seed, Auburn, Batavia and Auburn's rivalry, I've said it before, dates back to last year when the Doubledays eliminated the Muckdogs. A 4 seed upsetting a 1 seed in last year's playoffs. A 4-2 win for the Doubledays in Batavia. Got the job done and sent the Muckdogs home packing early.
And this season, the rivalry continues. Batavia 3-2-1 against the Doubledays this season. Batavia struggling in the first 2 matchups, then they won 3 straight against Auburn, including a doubleheader at Falcon Park. But just Tuesday night here at Dwyer Stadium, Auburn came away with the victory from behind, able to win that one 8-6. In a game where Batavia dominated most of that game, Batavia out-hit Auburn 11-7. Batavia struck out 4 times compared to Auburn's 9. But at the end of the day, all that matters is the score, and it was 8-6 Auburn who held the advantage. And to rub more salt on the wounds, it wasn't the pitching for Batavia, it was defensive mistakes and miscues. Out of Auburn's 8 runs, only 5 of them were earned. They were able to tighten up on the defensive side of the ball game. They were going to win that game 6-5. Instead, a couple errors late in the game, and Auburn walked out of here with the win and one step closer to clinching West Division.
You talk about Auburn, you can't talk about the Doubledays without their success, and it starts from the mound with their pitching staff. Lucas West, who performed extremely well in the first 2 games versus the Muckdogs, pitched 8 innings in the first showdown between Batavia and Auburn, only let up 3 hits. And since then, he's continued to be dominant for Auburn all season long. But it's not just him. You have Derek Bolander, who's no longer with the Doubledays because he just got drafted to the MLB. But still, he leads the entire PGCBL in strikeouts with 43 on the summer out of all qualifying players. And then you have Gage Rowe, who also leads the league in ERA with 1.26 on the summer out of all players that qualify. So for the Muckdogs, it's all about overcoming that threat at the mound, which in some games Batavia has struggled to do.
And today they like to jump on Auburn Doubledays pitcher Josh Henderson getting his first start of the season. He's appeared in 12 games, all out of the bullpen. So perhaps a bullpen game here for the Doubledays against this electrifying offense for the Muckdogs. We'll see how long Henderson stays in this game and what the outcome is eventually late in this one.
We talk about Henderson starting for Auburn. Let's check out who he's with on the field. Gavin Capruso leading off at shortstop. Fernando Espinal, the extra hitter for the Doubledays, batting second. Tyler Lejeune over in right field, swinging third. Ryan Grundy, the left fielder, cleaning up for the Doubledays. Zach Bale, the first baseman, hitting fifth. Adam Sullivan, the third baseman, swinging sixth. Anthony Piazza batting seventh, the second baseman for Auburn today. Alfred Hody behind the dish at eighth in the lineup. Skylar Mace, center fielder, hitting ninth, and last in the order for Auburn is the designated hitter, Dalton Groves. And as you mentioned, Josh Henderson patrolling the mound for Auburn to start things off. For the Muckdogs, Batavia combats Batavia combats Josh Henderson with Matt Misiti, who's starting. Lucas Lopez leading off at shortstop. Jake Butler hitting second, batting and patrolling third base. Sean Mendez over in left field hitting third. James Bolin behind the dish batting fourth. Sean Pope, first baseman, batting fifth. Justin Espinal hitting sixth as the designated hitter. James Mason, the extra hitter, batting seventh. TJ Morris in right field hitting eighth. Caleb Walker batting ninth, the second baseman, and Travis Hammond, the last hitter in the lineup at center field. Matt Misiti, the man on the mound to start things off for Batavia. And you talk about a guy who's reliable all season for the Muckdogs as a pitcher. Look no further than Matt Misiti, a 3-0 record on the summer and just about 31 innings pitched, has only let up 19 hits and 31 walks with 28 strikeouts to his name. He's a consistent option for this Muckdog squad.
Misiti really forming into the ace for Batavia and Skip Martinez this season. Come postseason time, he's going to have to continue the dominance if Batavia wants any shot of finally getting a PGCBL championship.
Batavia has come close to that PGCBL crown 2 years ago when they fell to Amsterdam in the league championship. Lost the series 2-1. But for Matt Misiti, he's in his first year with the Muckdogs, a righty pitcher out of Rowan College from Winter Park, Florida. And talking about dominance, Rowan College was dominant this past spring, a 47-8 record this season. And they made it to the second round of the NCAA Division III World Series. Great team success to bring to summer ball with the Muckdogs.
Yeah, and that success has really carried over to the Muckdogs as he's been a winner since college, been a winner here over the summer, but hopefully looking to finally crown himself. Came up short in college, let's do the opposite this summer with the Muckdogs.
So Misiti plays catch with Bolton as he gets ready to be warmed up and let loose. And for Auburn, Gavin Grapuso, the shortstop, getting ready to lead things off for the Doubledays. Gavin Grapuso on the season, a .302 batting average, has tallied 30 hits and 32 runs for this Doubledays squad. And when you look at Auburn's lineup in every game, Landon, the leadoff hitter always is Gavin Grapuso.
Yeah, Grapuso been Mr. Reliable so far for Auburn. And when he gets on base, he scores and he runs. A dangerous player to start things off. For Matt Misiti and the Muckdogs, do not want to let Gavin Grapuso on early in this one. And for Matt Misiti, this is his second start against Auburn. He did pitch at Falcon Park in the doubleheader where the Muckdogs were victorious 11-0. He threw 5 innings in that game. 3 hits, 3 walks, and struck out 5, had no runs against him. Faced a total of 20 batters through those 5 innings. So a dominant start for Misiti against Auburn. Looking for another good outing today at Dwyer Stadium at the home park on this Saturday night. Beautiful night here, Jared, and fireworks to follow. Misiti hoping to create some fireworks of his own.
I see what you did there, Landon. Always a great night when there's fireworks at Dwyer Stadium after the game. And what better game to have fireworks following than this one between the two top dogs in the Western Division. And you mentioned the weather. Clear skies, paint atop Dwyer Stadium. The sun piercing the field as Gavin Grapuso adjusts his gloves and gets ready to hit for Auburn. He's lining his swing and steps into the lefty batter's box for the first pitch. Misiti from the windup kicks and deals. First pitch taken for strike 1 as it finds the outside corner of the strike zone. Misiti's 0-1. Swing and a miss, and Grapuso already down 0-2 in the count. Misiti 1 strike away from getting the first K of the game. And already a strong start. Misiti, glove at the chin. Lowers the shoulders and guns the pitch. Drilled foul near the Muckdogs bullpen on the third base side, and count stands 0-2.
Misiti already trying to find a rhythm here. He's ready to go as soon as he gets that ball. He gets set and is ready for Grapuso as Grapuso called time in the last pitch. Ready to deal this 0-2 once again.
Righty-lefty matchup as the next pitch. Again, smacked foul over the left bleachers. Count still 0-2 for the lefty.
Grapuso staying alive. He's a dangerous batter for Auburn. Leads the team in at-bats and hits.
Misiti's next pitch gets Grapuso to bite, and he goes down swinging for the first strikeout of the game.
And what a start for the Muckdogs and Matt Misiti. Taking the most dangerous hitter for the Doubledays, taking him down swinging on 5 pitches. All 5 were strikes.
One gone in the top of the first. Auburn and Batavia scoreless. And Fernando Espinal, the right-handed hitter, steps up to the plate. He's second in the team in batting average with a .360 as he sits on the first low and away pitch for strike 1. Next pitch. Taken again for strike 2, and he's already down. Misiti finding his rhythm. Misiti kicks and deals. Ball drilled up the middle to shallow center. It falls, and that's scooped up by Hammond for a base hit. So Espinal on first for Auburn. Brings up the next hitter in the lineup, Tyler Lejeune, the right fielder today.
Espinal with the 2-strike approach just gets barrel on that one. Sends it out to shallow center field, and Hammond had no shot at getting that one. So it'll be Espinal at first base. 14 for 16 on the year on stolen bags.
First pitch. Downstairs and low for a 1-0 count.
And for Auburn, they want to strike early and strike first here in this one at Dwyer. They want to take this crowd out of the game, try to get Matt Misiti off of a rhythm.
The pickoff attempt thrown to first by Misiti does not get the runner Espinal out. Crowd was appalled by that call, but he still stands on first. Count 1-0 for the lefty Lejeune. Misiti throws another pickoff attempt, but Espinal gets to the bag much quicker.
A great stop there from Pope at first base. He'll patrol first base today for the Muckdogs.
Pope typically alternating between the right field and first base positions. The next pitch to Lejeune is up and outside. That count rises to 2-0.
So Misiti keeping Espinal close over there at first base, not letting him get a good lead to try and advance in the scoring position.
Espinal, the lone runner on for Auburn. Misiti bullets a pickoff attempt, but to no avail. And you talk about Espinal's stolen bags on the season. Posing a threat to Batavia when he's on base, and you can see Misiti clearly aware as the next pitch hits the dirt, and the count 3-0. One gone in the top of the first. Muckdogs and Doubledays tied at 0. One runner on for Auburn. Misiti kicks and tosses up and away for ball 4. And Lejeune's brought to first, and Espinal trots into scoring position. 2 runners on for the Doubledays, which brings up Ryan Grundy, the left fielder, a left-handed hitter. And Landon, you mentioned Auburn wanting to strike first. They've got 2 runners on base already, one in scoring position in the form of Espinal. First pitch is lasered up the middle of the shortstop Lopez for a 1 out, but Espinal back to the second base bag, avoids the double play.
And a great shot from Grundy there at the plate, but it went, unfortunately for him, right to Lucas Lopez, the shortstop for Batavia, as he gets that one and tries to race Espinal back to second base, but Espinal, with those long strides, he'll get back safely.
Lopez took 2 steps to his left for the out, tried to get Espinal, who was at second, with a 2-step leadoff, but he made it to the bag in time, so Espinal still at second. Lejeune at first, which brings up the righty first baseman, Alex Bale, who grounds the first pitch up to left field, but it just hooks foul. Count 0-1 for Bale.
And Muckdogs catch a break. That was about 3 feet from being fair, and if that was fair, Espinal was scoring easily. And Anna at first base, who has decent wheels, might have came around to score as well.
Bale tied for third in the roster with hits at 23 on the summer. Down 0-1 in the count, but still a threat to get on base. And Batavia doesn't want to load each base as the next pitch is taken for an 0-2 count. Bale already trailing as he looked at that next pitch. Misiti needs one more strike to get out of the inning. Looks at second, guns the pitch. Ball grounded up to the third baseman, Butler, who loses it and throws it across the diamond, but not before Bale gets to first.
So that'll be ruled an error on the third baseman, Jake Butler. And Zach Bale reaches safely on that error. So they'll load the bases up for the third baseman, Adam Sullivan.
Bases juiced with 2 outs in the top of the first. Score 0-0, but that could very well change if the next hitter, Adam Sullivan, gets a base knock. Sullivan, a lefty hitter, going up against the righty Misiti. First pitch, swing and a miss for an 0-1 count. Espinal at third, Lejeune at second, and Bale at first. Misiti, glove at the chin, lowers and darts the pitch. Just a tad low from the zone, but ruled strike 2 by the umpire. Misiti again is ahead 0-2 in the count. Trying to fool the hitter Sullivan, who cranks the pitch up to center field where Hammond already underneath it for the out. Retires the side. And talk about getting out of a jam land. And bases loaded, 2 outs. Batavia, though, doesn't allow any runs to score. So we go to the bottom of the first, where Batavia tries to jump ahead and take the lead.
$998, $999, $1,000.
Yo, Jake, how did you get so big?
Oh, I just go to Whole Life Fitness in Batavia. You should go get a membership there.
All right, thanks.
Of course.
1, 2, 3.
97, 98, 99, 100.
Oh, what's up, Landon? How's Whole Life Fitness?
Great, I feel like a new man. Thanks for the advice.
Of course.
Go to Whole Life Fitness in Batavia.
Bottom of the first at Dwyer Stadium, Batavia and Auburn still scoreless. And the top of the lineup up for the Muckdogs as they get their first chance at the plate. For Auburn, it's Josh Henderson leading off things at the mound. He's thrown 22 strikeouts so far this summer. Has an ERA of 6.86. Tries to build upon his stats so far this summer. And to do so, he goes up against the leadoff hitter, Lucas Lopez. Lopez, the shortstop for the Muckdogs, second in the squad in batting average with a .382, and tied for first in stolen bags with 17 on the summer. Lopez, a lefty hitter, awaits the first pitch. Curveball upstairs and outside. Count rises to 1-0. Henderson kicks and tosses. Fastball below the knees and inside. Has the count at 2-2. Lopez yet to offer. Henderson has the glove at his chest, and from the stretch, cannons the pitch. Taken again by the lefty Lopez for a 3-0 count, and he's one ball away from being sent to first. 3-0 offering from Henderson. Curveball sneaks inside. That's the first strike of the at-bat, and Lucas Lopez has himself a hitter's count. Henderson's next offering, grounded up the middle by Lopez, picked up by Grapusco. The throw to first beats the runner Lopez, and that's one gone in the bottom of the first. So Lopez starts his day off with a ground out, which brings up the third baseman, Jake Butler. Butler, a freshman out of George Mason University in his first year with the Muckdogs, chops the first pitch up the middle, and it rolls to center field for a base hit. One pitch and one hit for Butler. And he's found his groove early. So one out in the bottom of the first. Batavia and Auburn both scoreless. One runner on for the Muckdogs, which brings up the left fielder, Sean Mendaz. Mendaz, somebody who's flown a bit under the radar, but still a big threat to this Doubledays squad. He's had a batting average of .289 on the summer, which puts him fourth out of all Muckdogs hitters as he swings and misses on the first pitch. Has had 76 at-bats and 22 hits in those plate appearances. Can add to that total right now. The 0-1. Down and out, which evens the count at 1-1. Mendaz watched it fly by. Henderson, a quick look behind him at first. Butler with a two-step leadoff. Henderson kicks and deals. Grounded foul, third base side by the righty Mendaz, and the count falls to 1-2.
I was talking to Mendaz before the game today. Ran into him at Chipotle. Jared and I did, and he was pumped up for the game tonight. Of course, a big matchup against the Auburn Doubledays, and he had to get his pregame chicken bowl in.
I wonder what his order is at Chipotle. I got to ask him about that next time I see him. As Henderson tosses a late pickoff attempt to Butler, but he's still at the bag. He'll stay at first. Mendaz gets set in his stance. Henderson, glove at the chest, lets loose. Ball chopped up to the third baseman, Sullivan, but it gets away from him, trickles into the outfield, and that's a base hit for Sean Mendaz. So Mendaz at first, Butler at second, which puts one runner in scoring position for Batavia with one out in the bottom of the first.
So actually, Mendaz will reach on an error from the third baseman, Sullivan. As you've already seen, two errors here in this one at Dwyer Stadium. Auburn unable to capitalize on the Jake Butler error. We'll see if James Bolton and the Muckdogs can capitalize on the Sullivan error.
Bolton up to the plate. He leads the roster in batting average with a .414 on the summer. Somebody who's come back with vengeance after missing part of the summer. As he tips the first pitch foul behind the dish. Bolton, a catcher for SUNY Cortland. The Red Dragons this past spring made it all the way to the SUNYAC championship game before losing to SUNY New Paltz 15-11 as the next wild pitch advances Butler and Mendaz 90 feet, and they both are in scoring position.
So just like that, 2 in scoring position for James Bolton as he looks to put one in play and capitalize with Butler at third and Mendaz at second.
Bolton in the righty batter's box. It's a righty-righty matchup. Josh Henderson throws the pitch. Just a notch outside and low. And Bolton doesn't go for a 2-1 count.
So James Bolton, one of the more dangerous hitters in this Muckdog lineup, 4th on the team with 20 RBIs with first base open now. We'll see if Henderson pitches around Bolton and gives him nothing too easy to hit.
2-1 offering to Bolton. He stands flat-footed, and the count rises to 3-1. One more walk would load the bases.
And Henderson does not want to give Bolton anything up in the zone as Bolton has got the pop in his bat to send it a distance.
Glove under the chin for Henderson. Lifts the leg and guns the pitch. High and outside for ball 4, and the bases are juiced with 1 out in the bottom of the first.
And a big spot here for the first baseman, Sean Pope. With the bases juiced early on in this one at Dwyer Stadium, with Mendaz at second and the freight train, James Bolton, at first. They've got speed on the bases. And for Henderson, he's hoping for a ground ball in the infield here and get out of this jam.
Prime opportunity for the lefty Pope to bring some of his teammates in to help Batavia strike first. First pitch from Henderson. Drilled up to center field. It'll fall, and the scoring gets started for the Muckdogs.
And it's soft contact from Sean Pope. Nothing special with that ball as he flares it out the shallow left center field, and Skylar Mays, the speedster, unable to get under that one. And the Muckdogs draw blood early in this one here at Dwyer.
Butler, the run from third to advance home, which advances all the other runners 90 feet. Bolton at second. Mendaz at third. Pope at first after the base hit. And that brings up the Tully's hitman of the game, Justin Espinal, a right-handed hitter. 1-0. Muckdogs lead in the bottom of the first with 1 out. Bases loaded. First pitch. Curveball in the zone for strike 1. As Espinal didn't bite.
So the corners are in for the Doubledays. Sullivan at third, Bale at first. Corners in trying to gut down. Mendaz at the plate. Middle infield is back looking for the double play ball.
Next pitch. Ball belted up to third. Sullivan grabs it to throw behind the dish.
And he'll be ruled safe at the plate.
Wow.
As the throw from Sullivan is wide. And Hody with a great stop at home to just catch it and not let it go to pass him to the backstop.
Hody had to lunge for that one.
And Hody thought he kept his foot down as it was a force out at the plate, but the home plate umpire ruled him off the bag, and Mendaz scores from third on the fielder's choice from Justin Espinal.
Mendaz, the second run of the game for the Muckdogs, and they jump out to a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the first with 1 out. That brings up the extra hitter, James Mason, a righty, who swings and misses on the first pitch. Count 0-1 for Mason. Bolton at third. Pope at second. Espinal at first after that base hit. And it didn't look like Hody caught that one, Landon, but it found its way in the glove as the next pitch is hacked at and fouled off by Mason.
And it's a great play from the catcher, Hody, as if that one got past him, Bolton was definitely going to come around and score. And every runner would advance 90 feet, so just corralling that errant throw from Sullivan was a task in itself, keeping his foot on the bag, tried his best, but unable to do so.
0-2 the count. It's a righty-righty matchup. Next pitch gets away from Hody. And the runners stay at their respective bases. Count rises to 1-2 for James Mason.
So we got some action in this one early at Dwyer Stadium. And Jared, like you mentioned, this was going to be a great game between these two ball clubs. Batavia held the advantage last game on Tuesday before a wild comeback from Auburn. Batavia hoping to halt Auburn today and walk away with a win.
Each team has had There are moments of success in this rivalry, and each squad has certainly traded blows. It's a 2-2 count for the righty Mason. Next pitch is belted foul up into the visitors' bullpen. Count stays at 0-2.
So Sullivan and Bale on the corners remain in, trying to gun down Bolton at the plate. Middle infield, Grapuso and Piazza is back looking for the double play ball.
Next pitch. Mason doesn't go. Count rises to a full count. And the pitch low and away for the sophomore. Payoff pitch from Henderson. Clobbered foul up into the right section of the bleachers. Count still at 3-2. 1 out in the bottom of the first. Batavia jumped out to a 2-0 advantage earlier this inning. Next pitch from Henderson. Grounded up to the mound. A quick grab and a toss. Back to the dish. Gets 1 out and back to first for 2 to retire the side. 2 runs make their way home for the Muckdogs. And Batavia strikes first in this Western Division showdown. 2-0. Muckdogs ahead heading into the second inning.
All right, folks. I got 2 kids. My turn elbows in. Hold on. Thank you. All right, I got 2 ponies here, and they're...
Back of the lineup up for the Doubledays in the top of the second as Batavia leads Auburn 2-0. The second baseman, Anthony Piazza, leading off for Auburn. Matt Misiti, the starting pitcher, still on the mound for Batavia. It's a righty-righty matchup. And Landon, we've seen both squads load the bases in just the first inning. Each team finding some success at the plate so far. First pitch, clubbed foul over the grandstand. Count falls to 0-1.
And both teams threatening in the first inning. Auburn loads the bases, unable to capitalize. But the Muckdogs do the complete opposite, putting 2 across the board. And it could have been more if it wasn't for a great play from the catcher, Hody.
Piazza swings and misses on the next pitch. Count falls to 0 balls, 2 strikes. Misiti from the windup lets loose. Swing and a miss yet again. And that's the first out in just 3 pitches for Matt Misiti. Alfred Hody up to the plate for Auburn. Alfred Hody, the catcher for the Doubledays, helped get that double play by stepping on the plate to get Bolton out in the previous half inning. First pitch taken for strike 1.
Hody off to a slow start here for the Doubledays this season, 2 for 22 on the year.
Next pitch is grounded up to the shortstop Lopez. The throw across the diamond to Pope gets him out. And that's 2 gone already for the Muckdogs. Talk about a dominant defensive performance so far.
5 pitches this inning for Matt Misiti and the Batavia Muckdogs. But a 2-out rally is looking to be started here from the center fielder, Skylar Mays.
Yeah, Mays has played in several of the games against the Muckdogs so far. Misiti's first pitch. Curves low and outside for the righty. Count rises to 1-0. Misiti lifts the leg and tosses. Ball lasered up to the third baseman, Butler. He gently scoops it up, bullets it to first, and that retires the side rather quickly. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the second. Batavia still ahead 2-0.
Hey, how we doing?
Good, how are you?
Can I get one federal admission ticket, please?
Alright, so that's gonna be $9. Having a great season, man.
Yeah.
First place.
First place,
I love
my
it.
Muckdogs.
There you go.
Thank you, sir.
If you would like tickets, call our number at 585-524-2260. Go Dogs.
Bottom of the second in Dwyer Stadium. Batavia off to a 2-0 head start. Jared Valentin alongside Landon Washburn. Landon, Batavia wasting no time getting started. 2 runs in the first inning has put him in front early.
Batavia put across 2 and were able to threaten and try to put some more on, but an excellent play from Henderson, the pitcher, helping himself out on the field.
DJ Morris, the leadoff hitter, cranks one out to left field for a base hit. He gets on base in just 2 pitches.
TJ Morris gets the start today in right field, making the most out of his opportunity with the single to lead off the bottom of the second inning. And that'll bring up the second baseman, Caleb Walker.
Walker, a lefty hitter, a junior out of Alfred State College. He steps into the box and awaits the first pitch from Henderson, the starting thrower for Auburn. Quick pickoff thrown to the first baseman, Bale, but Morris makes it back successfully. Empty count. Taken by Walker for ball 1.
Walker, a .250 batting average with 10 RBIs and 17 walks, sees the ball exceptionally well at the plate. Looking to do some damage here early in this one at Dwyer.
1-0 count. But Walker chalks it up to the first baseman, who throws it to second for 1 out. But Walker gets to the bag on first out due to the fielder's choice. 1 out in the bottom of the second. Batavia up 2-0, which brings up the last hitter in the lineup, Travis Hammond.
Hammond, the everyday starter in center field for Batavia this season, a .260 batting average with 13 RBIs and 22 walks.
Hammond, a righty, waits for Henderson's first throw. He's got a teammate on first with one gone in the bottom of the second. He whacks the first throw foul over the right section of the bleachers. First base side, count 0-1. Henderson takes a deep breath. Throws another attempt at first. Morris still safe. And he'll stay there.
Henderson keeping a close eye on Caleb Walker at first base. He has some decent speed, 4 for 4 on the year with stolen bags.
Rather, that was Walker at first, not Morris. Count 1-1 for the righty Travis Hammond. Next throw from Henderson. Low and away, the throw to second. Does not beat the runner Walker, and he'll advance 90 feet.
So only the 5th stolen bag attempt on the season for Caleb Walker, but a big one as he's able to get in safely on the late throw from Hody and put himself in scoring position for Travis Hammond.
Batavia continuing to build off of that momentum it had in the first inning. Walker in scoring position, a 2-1 count for Travis Hammond. Henderson, glove at the chest, raises it to the chin. Eyes second, kicks and deals. Hammond doesn't go, count rises to 3-1. He waves at Walker to stay at second.
And Hody getting his work back there behind the dish. Another great stop on the wild pitch from Henderson. Caleb Walker playing mind games with him at second base, and that one nearly got away from Hody and advanced Caleb Walker another 90 feet.
3-1 the count for the righty. Henderson's next offering. Slammed out to right field, where Lejeune pulls it in for out number 2.
That ball from Hammond kind of just seemed to sit in the air forever and let Lejeune under that one for the second out, as Hammond will line out to the right fielder. And if that ball got down, Caleb Walker was looking to score from second, but it'll bring up the top of the order Lucas Lopez, who's 0 for 1 on the day with the ground out to the shortstop, Gavin Grapuso.
Lopez, a lefty hitter. 2 gone in the bottom of the second. Muckdogs lead Doubledays 2-0. Walker at second for Batavia. A righty-lefty matchup. And a quick timeout is called.
So with 2 outs here, Caleb Walker will be on the run with any contact. And if this ball gets out of the infield, Walker, who's already showed off he's got pretty decent speed, could score from second.
Lopez second in the team in RBIs with 27. But he'll have to bring Walker 180 feet in if he wants to make that 28. Next pitch is at the dirt from Henderson for ball 1. Lopez has the bat held high and delivers the next pitch foul. Third base side. Count even at 1-1. Jake Butler on deck for the Muckdogs, who's 1 for 1 with a single. Was the first run scored for Batavia. Henderson, his next pitch. Hacked at, but fouled off into the Doubledays dugout. Count 1-2. Henderson, glove under his hat. Raises the leg, guns the pitch. Tipped foul to the backstop by Lopez. Count still 1-2. Walker with about a 3-4 step leadoff of second. Henderson throws the next pitch. It's just a bit outside, as the sound effects board says, for a even 2-2 count. Henderson eyes Hody, gives the nod to the catcher. A quick glance at second, and he cannons the pitch. Chopped up to the second and first base gap. It's pulled in by Piazza. The throw to Bale gets the final out. And we go to the third inning, where the Muckdogs hold a 2-0 advantage in this pivotal Western Division showdown. We go to the break for a brief moment, but more Muckdogs baseball coming up shortly. Top of the third in Dwyer Stadium. The Muckdogs lead 2-0 against the Doubledays with the back of the lineup up for Auburn. Starting with the designated hitter, Dalton Groves.
Dalton Groves, a 200 batting average so far on the season for the Doubledays. He's at 6 RBIs and 8 walks to go with his 11 hits.
Misiti still on the mound for the Muckdogs. From the windup, he throws the first pitch. Rocketed out to left field, and Mendez barely has to move for the first out. One pitch and one away. That brings up the top of the order, Gavin Grapuso, who's 0 for 1 on the day, was struck out in his first at-bat. Trying to end his slow start with his next trip to the plate. A righty-lefty matchup. Grapuso, the left-handed hitter. First pitch is skied out to center field. Hammond waves everyone off and calmly gets underneath for the second out. And what a start by Batavia. 2 pitches and 2 outs.
Could not have asked for a better start to this third inning for Matt Misiti. 2 pitches, 2 outs, keeping that pitch total low as the Muckdogs still hold that 2-0 advantage. We'll see how long Misiti stays in this one, the Muckdogs ace, in this pivotal Western Division matchup.
Fernando Espinal, the designated hitter, next in the lineup. He lasers the first pitch out to left field. It falls, and he's swiftly at first base. So Auburn, after making contact on each of the first 3 pitches, finally get a runner on base.
And it was another first pitch swinging for Fernando Espinal. I thought maybe their manager would say, take a pitch. Let Misiti's pitch count get up a little bit. But no, first pitch swinging, not wasting any time, and that one drops for a base hit down the left field line.
The right fielder, Lejeune, up to the plate for the Doubledays, a left-handed hitter. Was walked in his first at-bat, first pitch by Misiti, way outside, gets away from the catcher Bolton, and Espinal moves 90 feet. Espinal in scoring position for Auburn. 1-0 the count for Tyler Lejeune. Misiti, glove by his left shoulder. Examines Espinal and deals. Taken by Lejeune for 2-0 count. Misiti. Another look at second. Tosses the pitch. Curveball upstairs and away to the lefty. Count rises to 3 balls, no strikes. Hitters count for Tyler Lejeune. Next pitch. Right down Broadway for strike 1. And Lejeune watched it fly by him. Misiti, another look at second. Kicks the leg, fires the pitch. It's upstairs and outside again. So Lejeune is moved to first. 2 runners on base for Auburn. With 2 outs.
So despite the quick start for Matt Misiti and the Muckdogs, a 2-out base hit from Espinal and the walk drawn by Lejeune puts up a big spot here for Ryan Grundy.
Second walk of the day for Tyler Lejeune. Ryan Grundy comes up to the plate, the left fielder who's 0 for 1. Sits on the first pitch for a 0-1 count. Grundy had a line out to the shortstop Lopez in his first at-bat. Another righty-lefty matchup. Misiti lasers the next pitch down the chute. And it evens the count at 1-1. One offering from Misiti. Grundy doesn't bite. Count falls to 1-2. Two 2-0 Batavia leads in the top of the third with 2 outs, 2 runners on for Auburn. Misiti consistently keeping his eyes on second. Releases the pitch. Swing and a miss from Grundy. And that ends Auburn's outing at the plate in the 3rd inning. 2 runners left stranded for the Doubledays. As midway through the 3rd, Batavia is up 2-0.
Man, I have some great cards here.
Well, you better have the house. That's what I got, baby. Go Dogs!
God,
Why are you guys gambling here?
Because we got nowhere else to go.
Batavia Downs is right down the road.
I heard they have horse racing.
Batavia Downs, Hotel and Casino. 8315 Park Road in Batavia, New York.
Bottom of the third at Dwyer Stadium, the Muckdogs lead the Doubledays 2-0. Jared Valentin alongside Landon Washburn, and Landon, both offenses, although the scoreboard doesn't reflect it, are showing out so far.
Batavia 3 hits through their first 2 at-bats, and for Auburn 2 hits through the first 3, unable to put one across for the Doubledays as the Muckdogs lead 2-0, and looking to add on some more. It'll be the third baseman leading things off, Jake Butler, who's 1 for 1 on the day. The single right back up the middle to the center fielder, Skylar Mays.
Josh Henderson still on the mound for Auburn. It's a righty-righty matchup. Kicks and deals. First pitch is taken for a strike by Butler. Count 0-1. Henderson from the stretch fires the pitch. Rocketed out to deep left. Back to the wall goes Grundy, who makes the catch. So Butler is out. First out of the inning for the Muckdogs as Sean Mendaz comes up to the plate. He reached first base off of an error in his last at-bat. A right-handed hitter. Henderson kicks and tosses. Ball's chopped foul into the Muckdogs dugout by Mendaz for an 0-1 count.
And Henderson now set to deal his 45th pitch of the outing. He's thrown 2 1/3 so far in this one here at Dwyer Stadium. He's only gone over 2 innings 2 other times this season, the last time being July 14th at Elmira.
Next pitch, swing and a miss to Mendaz, and he's down 0-2. And you talk about Josh Henderson, who's thrown about 45, 46 pitches so far. Got to keep an eye on the endurance battle between him and Misiti, the Muckdogs pitcher, and to see when each manager pulls out their starting guy. Next pitch by Henderson is drilled up to left field by Mendaz. It rolls fair, and he's racing to second. The throw to the infield just a tad late, and that's a double for the left fielder, Sean Mendaz.
And what a piece of hitting from Mendaz. Ropes that one down the left field line. It'll kick off the corner, and Ryan Grundy throws it in, but nowhere near in time to get Mendaz. Doesn't have the greatest speed, but, man, he was on his horse there for the stand-up double.
Turned on the Jets to advance 180 feet total as Bubba Dog made a brief appearance right there in front of the camera, which brings up the cleanup hitter, James Bolton, who was walked in his first at-bat, got out when he was running to home on a double play by Auburn. Almost scored the first run, but instead drills the next pitch along the first baseline. He gets to first. Mendaz is brought home, and the Muckdogs add another run.
So an RBI single for James Bolton as that one was smoked down the right field line. When we talk about the endurance battle, Josh Henderson, still they're going to trust him out there on the mound as there's nobody warming up in the Auburn bullpen. Jared, he doesn't go long into games, and he's been roughed up a bit early on in this one at Dwyer Stadium in a must-win game for Auburn if they want any hopes of trying to get the #1 seed in the West Division.
Back-to-back pitches that have been sent out and rolled fair on the respective baselines. 1-0 the count for the new hitter, Sean Pope. He's 1 for 1 on the day with a single. A righty-lefty matchup. Next pitch from Henderson. Missiled out to shallow center. The diving catch from Skylar Mays gets Pope out. I don't know if you caught that. What a snag that was.
That was
by
a great
Mays.
That was a great play by Mays. He knew that one was hit shallow from Pope. He came sprinting in, made a great diving catch, and nearly thought about doubling up Bolton at first, but Bolton will trot back, and no throw from Mays, and it's 2 outs now for Justin Espinal.
3-0 Muckdogs lead with 2 gone in the bottom of the third. Justin Espinal, the designated hitter, up to the plate. Sits on the first pitch for ball 1. He's 1 for 1 on the day with a single. And the Muckdogs lineup already finding its stride. You get that single from Bolton, that double from Mendez as the next pitch nearly hits the back of Espinal for a 2-0 count.
We now see someone warming up for Auburn, stretching a little bit, getting loose. The case of his number is called.
You get both of those pitches that are sent out to deep left and right field. And you can already tell, it's early in this game, you can already see how much getting this win means for both teams, as it's pivotal to the standings. Espinal has a 3-0 count and takes the next pitch for ball 4. So he joins James Bolton on base.
Espinal draws the 4-pitch walk, and still nobody from Auburn going to come talk to Henderson. Not even the catcher Hody going to go out and share a few words of confidence. It's all Henderson on his own here in the bottom of the third inning.
James Mason up to the plate, the extra hitter. Grounded out to the mound. Was the other out of the double play that got Bolton out. Has himself a 1-0 count after looking at the first pitch. The next throw, hammered foul over the netting, and the count evens itself at 1 apiece.
And for Josh Henderson, he just pitched 2 days ago at Geneva. He faced 9 batters through 1 inning, got roughed up a little bit, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 3 hits. It was interesting. I saw that he got the start today. I didn't think he'd really be pitching, and if he was, it'd be out of the bullpen.
The big guns, if you will, coming out for both teams in this matchup. As the 2 top dogs in the West. Next pitch taken by Mason for ball 2 of the at-bat. Next throw. Grounded up to the third baseline in a roll fair. Several waves are thrown on the infield. And Bolton scores.
And what a big at-bat from James Mason. He gets the start today in the lineup and delivers the 2-out RBI double. James Bolton scores easily, and it's Justin Espinal, who now stands at second base. I'm sorry, Justin Espinal's at third base.
Espinal at third, Mason at second off the RBI double, which brings up the righty TJ Morris, who's 1 for 1 with a single.
And Jared, you're going to think that if Morris can put this one in play into the outfield that falls, Mason, great speed off second base, could blow this game open as Muckdogs already lead 4-0.
2 gone in the bottom of the third for the Muckdogs. First pitch is sat on by Morris for a 1-0 count. Batavia steadily adding runs in this game. Next pitch to Morris is hacked at but fouled off to the backstop.
Morris getting some words of encouragement from the first base coach, the hitting coach Khalid Cox, as he stands in for this 1-1 delivery from Henderson.
Morris, a freshman out of Salisbury University, awaits the next pitch from Henderson. Skied out to deep left, and once again, Grundy's there to pull it in.
It was a loud out here at Dwyer Stadium as the fans on their feet for that deep fly out from TJ Morris. Not just enough on that one, as that one was out towards the warning track out there in deep left field.
2 runs score for the Muckdogs in the bottom of the third. And Batavia all of a sudden up 4-0 on the second ranked team in the Western Division. More Muckdogs baseball when we return. Batavia ahead 4-0 against Auburn in the top of the 4th inning. Jared Valentin alongside Landon Washburn. Landon, Batavia piled on 2 runs in the 1st inning, 2 more in the 3rd. And you talk about a strong start, that's what the Muckdogs wanted, and so far they've got it.
Same story was on Tuesday night when the Muckdogs led in that one, but it was a late comeback from Auburn as they were able to put up 4 in the top of the 8th inning that ultimately came along and costed the Muckdogs the game as Auburn won that one 8-6. So the gas pedal will not be let off for Batavia and Skip Martinez here at Dwyer tonight.
A righty-righty matchup between the pitcher Matt Misiti and the hitter Zach Bale. Bale takes the first pitch for strike 1. The first baseman is 1 for 1 with a single. He reached off an error. 0-2 count for Bale as he missed the next pitch. Misiti from the windup, lets loose. Ball is slaughtered out to left field. It falls to the wall, and that's a double for the first baseman, Bale, who takes advantage of the deep left field hit, and he gets on base.
So leadoff double for Zach Bale, and he'll record his first hit of the evening here at Dwyer Stadium, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Adam Sullivan. Sullivan, 0 for 1 on the day with a fly out to Travis Hammond in center field. We'll see if Auburn bunts Sullivan, putting Bale at third. A little bit more scoring position dangerous for Matt Misiti and the Muckdogs as they look to cut into this Muckdog 4-0 score.
Sullivan, a left-handed hitter. Misiti launches the first pitch. Up and away for Sullivan, and he doesn't offer for a 1-0 count.
So it looks like Sullivan's going to swing away as he looks to put this one in play and advance Zach Bale from second.
Misiti eyes second, throws the pitch. It's fouled off over the press box for an even 1-1 count. For 4-0 Batavia in front. 1 runner on second for Auburn with no outs. A 1-1 count for the lefty Adam Sullivan. Misiti, glove at his belt, lifts and deals. Fastball on the low outside corner. Makes it a 2-1 count for Sullivan. Misiti continuing to glance at second, fires the next pitch. It's grazed foul to the netting. Count falls to 2-2. Adam Sullivan on the summer, a .226 batting average, 7 hits, and 5 RBIs. Next pitch from Misiti. Grounded up to the first baseman, Pope. A gentle toss to the pitcher. Misiti gets the out. And that's 1 gone in the top of the 4th. But at the price of that out, Zach Bale advances to third.
And what a play from Sean Pope and Matt Misiti, the pitcher. Pope gets the ground ball fielded cleanly, but it's Misiti who has to race over there from his pitching position and cover the bag for Pope to get Sullivan out at first, which was a bang-bang play that goes Misiti's way.
4-0 Batavia in front of Auburn. Timeout is called as Anthony Piazza gets ready to hit for the Doubledays. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout in his last at-bat. It's a righty-righty matchup. Misiti, his first pitch, swing and a miss by Piazza. And the count 0-1 for the second baseman. Misiti from the windup lifts the leg and fires the pitch. Swung at and missed again by Piazza. He's down 0-2 early.
Everyone is back for the Muckdogs in the infield, looking just to get Piazza out at the plate.
Misiti, glove at the chin, lowers it to the belt, cranks the next pitch. It's hit foul above the bleachers. Count remains at 0-2. Misiti guns the next pitch, curveball up and in, and it's taken by Piazza for a 1-2 count.
That off-speed pitch from Misiti didn't miss by much.
Next offering from Misiti, fastball low and away. Quickly gets out of the catcher Bolton's glove, but he recovers it timely.
Misiti spikes that fastball. Bolton does a great job of keeping that one in front of him and not allowing Bale to score from third.
2-2 count for the righty Piazza. He's got one runner. His teammate Bale on third. Next pitch is taken for another ball. Piazza thought that was ball 4, but instead he has himself a full count. He briefly hobbled along the first base path, but returns to the box. Misiti darts the pitch. There it is. That's ball 4 for Piazza. A high off-speed pitch that he didn't offer on. Puts runners at the corners for Auburn in the top of the 4th with 1 out.
And that bat Misiti is going to want to have back. He was up 0-2 on Piazza and just lost him 4 straight balls. So Piazza will take the free 90, and he'll now stand at first base.
Alfred Hody back up to the plate for Auburn. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out. Laid a bunt, but pulled it back at the last second. Count rises to 1-0. Another righty-righty duel between Misiti and Hody. Misiti from the stretch launches the pitch. It's popped up foul, first base side. Count 1 apiece.
And Misiti taking a little bit in between this pitch. It looks like he rolled his ankle coming on the follow through on that pitch. Grimacing some pain, but nothing he can't shake off. He's competitive. He's going to want to stay in this ball game in this crucial matchup tonight here at Dwyer Stadium, and he's set to go for the 1-1 count to Hody.
Misiti lowers the shoulders. Ball is drilled up the middle of the shortstop Lopez. 1 out at second and back to first for a double play.
And what a twist from Lucas Lopez and Caleb Walker to get out of the jam and help out his pitcher, Misiti.
Batavia gets out of the inning without allowing any more runs. 2 are stranded for Auburn. And we go to the bottom of the 4th, where Batavia still has a 4-0 advantage here in Dwyer Stadium.
Alright, so the green looking about 300 yards straight out, maybe a little bit dog leg right. We'll see what we got here with this draw here.
Hopefully I don't slice this one.
No golfing at Dwyer.
So where should we golf at? What do you mean?
Atticus 10th hole in Attica, New York. 95 Bundle Street.
Alright,
We should go there. We should go there.
We'll take your word for it.
Landon, my elbow. Oh my gosh. We need to get you to Rochester Regional Health. For all your medical needs, go to Rochester Regional Health, the best health services in Western New York.
Bottom of the fourth in Dwyer Stadium. Batavia holding on to that 4-0 advantage. Jared Valentin with Landon Washburn in the booth. Landon, there's a new pitcher on the mound. It's Garrett Potter.
Potter now going to step in for Josh Henderson in relief. Potter making his third appearance on the season so far for the Auburn Doubledays, all in relief. He's thrown 5 innings, has 2 strikeouts, 8 walks, and given up 3 hits.
Caleb Walker leading off for the Muckdogs. He got to first in his last at-bat due to a fielder's choice. Takes the first pitch for ball 1. It's a righty-lefty matchup. Caleb Walker, the left-handed hitter. Next pitch from Potter is popped up, foul into the infield, and it's pulled in by the third baseman, Sullivan, for the first out. So 1 gone in the top of the fourth brings up the last hitter in the lineup, Travis Hammond, who's 0 for 1 with a fly out to the right fielder, Lejeune. No runners on for the Muckdogs. First pitch sat on by Hammond for a 1-0 count. Next throw from Potter. Hammond doesn't go. Ball rolls out of the catcher, Hody's hands. And the count 2-0 for the center fielder. From the windup, Potter lifts and tosses. Hammond drills it up to shallow center. Several infielders move away, but Skylar Mays in there to snare in the fly ball.
So with Garrett Potter now on the mound for the Doubledays, I mean, Josh Henderson's night is over. His final stat line, 3 innings pitched, gave up 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them being earned. He had 2 walks and 0 strikeouts.
That brings up the top of the order Lucas Lopez, the shortstop, who's 0 for 2 on the day with a pair of groundouts. Lopez, a lefty hitter. Potter lowers the glove, guns the first pitch. High and inside for Lopez. And he stays patient for a 1-0 count. Next throw from Potter, grounded up to the first and second base gap, gets away from Piazza, and it's a base hit for Lopez. Two gone in the the bottom of the fourth. Muckdogs lead Doubledays 4-0. 1 runner on for Batavia.
So it'll be an error on Piazza, which gives Lucas Lopez the ability to continue this inning and bring up Jake Butler, the third baseman for the Muckdogs.
Righty-righty duel. First pitch, high and inside, taken by Butler for a 1-0 count. Butler 2 for 2 with a single and a double. And his time at the plate so far. Next throw from Potter, swing and a miss, and the count evens at 1-1. Sean Mendaz on deck for the Muckdogs. He's the third hitter in the lineup. The throw from Hody to second, does not get the runner Lopez out. Lucas Lopez showing his speed there. He leads the team in stolen bases with 17, and Landon, you can see why right there.
Lucas Lopez, excellent speed, no shot for Hody. It was a great throw. It's still not in time to get him, and he now stands in scoring position for Butler, who looks to extend this Muckdog lead.
2-1 count for Butler. He doesn't go on the next pitch, and he has himself a hitter's count.
So now Lopez standing at scoring position with excellent speed. Any base knock will score him, as he'll be in motion on any contact here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th.
He's got a 3-step lead off of second. Potter, his next delivery. Below the knees for ball 4. It's just a notch inside. And Butler heads over to first. 2 gone in the bottom of the 4th. The Muckdogs lead the Doubledays 4-0. Sean Mendaz up to the plate. Got to first off of an error in his first at-bat, followed by a double. Both times he made it all the way around the diamond. 2 of Batavia's 4 scored runs. It's a righty-righty face-off. As Potter's first pitch, curveball way up and somehow finds the zone for an 0-1 count. What a throw there by the pitcher.
That was a disgusting curveball from Potter on the mound.
Potter eyes second, deals the pitch, high and away for the righty. Mendaz count evens at 1-1. Mendaz yet to bite in this at-bat. Potter at the mound gets back in his stance after stepping off for a brief moment. He eyes Lopez at second, deals the pitch. It's cranked out to left center. And right center, I should say, and the right fielder, Tyler Lejeune, snares it in for the final out. Top of the 5th we go. Muckdogs lead 4-0.
Jeez, this guy stinks. Go to the bullpen. Ready?
Me? Ow. Thanks to these Muckdogs jerseys, which you can buy now, I'm still fresh and still clean. Left center. Mendaz had the leadoff doubles.
Jeez, this guy stinks. Go to the bullpen. Ready?
Me? Ow. Thanks to these Muckdogs jerseys, which you can buy now, I'm still fresh and still clean.
Top of the 5th in Dwyer Stadium, the Muckdogs ahead 4-0 against the Doubledays. Matt Misiti still on the mound for Batavia. Jared Valentin alongside Landon Washburn in the booth today. Landon, Batavia, from the very first inning, has gotten 2 runs to score and has been in front ever since.
Batavia took the 2-0 advantage in the first inning and never looked back. They tacked on 2 more in the 3rd as they hold the 4-0 advantage going into the 5th frame. And Forscape Martinez, they're doing a great job on the mound with their ace, Matt Misiti, holding Auburn to only 3 hits, but But they've gotten some help from Auburn on the defense as they have had 3 errors, and the Muckdogs able to capitalize and put some runs on the board.
Skylar Mays leading off for the Doubledays. A righty-righty duel. First pitch taken for strike 1. Mays 0 for 1 on the day with a ground out to third. He sits on the next pitch for an 0-2 count. He's gone down looking at 2 pitches already. Misiti, glove at the chin. From the windup, fires the pitch. Slapped foul, first base side by Mays. Count stands at 0-2. And Landon, you talk about how important this game is for the postseason implications. Batavia just got off on the right foot. And that's what it wanted coming into the game, as Mays is grounded out from that hit up the middle. That puts 1 gone in the top of the 5th. Dalton Groves, next in the order, the last hitter in the lineup for the Muckdogs. He's 0 for 1 with a fly out to left field. A right-handed hitter. Does an offer on Misiti's first throw. Count 1-0. Coming into this game, both squads are 1-2 in the Western Division. As this next pitch is sent out to second and thrown to the first baseman Pope for another out.
And Misiti did a great job of just knocking that one down off the mound, as that likely would have been a base hit. But Misiti kind of knocks it down, redirects it to Caleb Walker, the second baseman, who tosses over to Sean Pope to record the second out of the inning for his pitcher, Matt Misiti, and the Muckdogs.
Not the start Groves wanted, which brings up the top of the lineup, the shortstop Gavin Grapuso. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout. Eats the first pitch for a 1-0 count. Grapuso, a left-handed hitter. Next pitch from Misiti. Upstairs and outside for a 2-0 count. 2 gone in the top of the 5th. Batavia ahead 4-0. No runners on for Auburn. And the leadoff hitter, Grapuso, takes that next pitch for a strike. Count 2-1 for the lefty. Misiti's next offering, curveball up and in. Again, looked at, and Grapuso has a hitter's count. City's next throw low at the plate for ball 4. And Grapuso gets on base for the first time today. That brings up the next hitter in the lineup, Fernando Espinal, who's 2 for 2 with 2 singles. Has his teammate Grapuso on first with 2 outs. Misiti throws a pickoff attempt to no avail. Espinal, a righty hitter. Misiti, glove at the belt, lifts and tosses. Curveball low and away to the righty. Brings Espinal a 1-0 count. Misiti, a glance at first. Glove at the waist, deals the pitch. Popped up just in front of second base, and Lopez gets underneath it for the out. 1 runner left stranded in the top of the 5th. As midway through the inning, Batavia sits ahead 4-0.
Zoom in on the pitcher, focus, then zoom back out.
Yo, Eric and Jason, where'd y'all get this car at?
Pellegrino.
Where's that at?
Batavia.
The best auto dealership in Western New York. Hey guys, this is Austin, the play-by-play broadcaster for the Batavia Muckdogs, and I'm here with Dewey at Attica's 10th hole in Attica, New York at 96 Bunnell Street. Dewey's here ready to sink a par. Go ahead, Dewey. Come out to Attica's to play some 9-hole golf. Nice job, Dewey.
Bottom of the 5th. In Dwyer Stadium, the Muckdogs lead the Doubledays 4-0. Garrett Potter still on the mound for Auburn as Sean Pope gets ready, James Bolton gets ready to lead off for Batavia.
Garrett Potter has some gas still in the tank after only throwing 1 inning. 15 pitches in the bottom of the 4th for him. In his 2 outings so far this season for Auburn, he's thrown 2 1/3 and 2 2/3. So we'll see how long Auburn elects to have him in.
Bolton, a right-handed hitter. First pitch from the windup taken by Bolton for a 1-0 count.
Bolton 1 for 1 on the day with a single and a walk. Looking to start things off on the right note for Batavia in the 5th inning.
Next pitch by Potter is popped up over the grandstand foul. Count 1-1 for the righty Bolton. Bolton got on base in both of his at-bats, was walked, followed by a single. Next pitch is cranked out to right field. Lejeune waves everyone off and corrals the fly ball for the first out.
Yeah, Bolton just under that one. And as soon as that one got off the bat, he knew he left it to be a fly out. As a little irritated with himself running down to first baseline.
That brings up Sean Pope, the first baseman, who's 1 for 2 with a single and a fly out. A righty-lefty matchup. First pitch drilled up to right center. And once again, Lejeune ready to make the out. Pulls it in to put 2 gone in the bottom of the 5th. Muckdogs ahead 4-0 in the bottom of the 5th. Justin Espinal makes his way up to the plate. A righty. Has a single and a walk so far this contest. First pitch, curveball, high and away for ball 1. Glove at the belt for Potter. He cranks the next pitch. It's below the ankles and rolls behind the dish. Count 2-0. Potter kicks and tosses. Espinal looks at the next pitch. Count rises to 3-0, and he 1 ball away from being walked to first. Next pitch from Potter. Barely finds the zone. Count 3-1 for the righty. Espinal trying to get on base. He sends the next pitch out to second, and it's thrown to first by Piazza for the out, which retires the side. No runners left on base. And to the 6th inning we go. Muckdogs ahead 4-0.
guy stinks. Go to the bullpen. Ready?
Me? Ow. Thanks to these Muckdogs jerseys, which you can buy now, I'm still fresh and still clean.
Who let the dogs out? Who?
We enter the 6th inning. The Muckdogs hold a 4-0 advantage against the Doubledays, as a few kids are still running from the Release the Hound base run here in Dwyer Stadium.
Now, Jared, realistically, a lot of kids out there, a lot of little bodies. Where are you finishing? You ran cross country in high school.
Where am I finishing in the race?
Finishing in the race, yeah.
Oh, I'm finishing first.
Really?
No problem.
What if a little kid trips you?
What if a little kid trips me?
Yeah.
You know, it might be hard to traverse the crowd when the Hound is running from the third base to first, you know, from that left to right run. It might be hard to traverse all those little kids, but I think I'm still beating them all.
What if you round second base, clear for the finish line, and Caleb Walker out of nowhere spears you?
I'd have to have a talk with Walker about that after the fact. I can't let that happen. Matt Misiti still on the mound for Batavia. And Tyler Lejeune back up to the plate for Auburn. He grounds the first pitch up to the second baseman, Walker, who throws it to first for the out. Speak of the devil, Caleb Walker making the play there.
What a great play from Walker. Gets that one just behind the second base bag. Cannot waste any time with Lejeune's speed as he almost legged that one out on the ground ball to the second baseman back up the middle. But it'll be a ground out, 4-3 put out for Lejeune to help out Matt Misiti and the Muckdogs to start the 6th frame.
Grundy up to the plate now. The left fielder, who's 0 for 2, had a line out to short and a strikeout. It's a righty-lefty duel. Misiti, his first pitch outside for ball 1. The next one is slapped foul over the Muckdogs dugout. 1 ball, 1 strike. Misiti from the windup nods and deals. Ball's chopped up, barely leaves the dish, and it's fouled off. One and two the count for the hitter Grundy. He steps back into the box. Misiti nods to the catcher Bolton. He lowers the glove, fires the pitch, paints the outside part of the plate for the second ball of the at-bat. Misiti throws the 2-2. Inside, taken by Grundy for a full count.
Misiti not happy with that call. Thought that was strike 3. But the payoff pitch awaits Grundy from Misiti.
Misiti kicks and tosses. Grundy stands flat-footed for ball 4. And he trots 90 feet. Muckdogs ahead 4-0 against the Doubledays. 1 runner on for Auburn with 1 gone in the top of the 6th. First baseman Zach Bale up to the plate. Bale, a right-handed hitter. Misiti, glove at the belt. Fires a pickoff attempt. And Sean Pope, the first baseman, thought that was successful, but the tag not in time.
Misiti has a dangerous pickoff move. That's now, I think, the second or third time today. He thought he picked someone off at first base. but still haven't gotten the punch out from the field umpire.
Grundy safe at the first base bag. Misiti guns the next pitch. Fastball. Low and outside. Ball 1.
Misiti working deep into the game today. 77 pitches now through 5 1/3. Trying to finish it off strong here as we do see some movement in the Muckdog bullpen.
Few pitchers getting active as Misiti whips the throw to first. Another pickoff attempt unsuccessful. Grundy, a 2-step lead off of the bag. Misiti keeping him honest. Lifts the leg, darts the pitch. Grounded up to the shortstop, Lopez, who steps on the second base bag and back to first for another double play.
An unassisted double play. Does not even flip it to Caleb Walker. He takes it to second base himself and throws a dart to Sean Pope to retire Zach Bale.
Lopez taking matters into his own hands. And we quickly go to the bottom of the 6th, I should say. Muckdogs in front, 4 runs to none. Muckdogs ahead 4-0 against the Doubledays in the bottom of the 6th. James Mason leading off for Batavia. The extra hitter, 7th in the lineup. First pitch. Check swing. The umpire says he went. Count 0-1. Garrett Potter still on the mound for the Doubledays. From the windup, he deals the next pitch. Lasered out to right center. It falls for a base hit. Mason sprinting to second. He'll get there in time. The throw to the infield, nowhere near close to getting Mason out. And that's a double for the sophomore.
And James Mason, his second double of the day, roped that one into right center field in a stand-up double to start things off for the Muckdogs in the bottom of the 6th.
TJ Morris, the right fielder, up to the plate now. Singled and flew out to left field. And
Morris getting some words from the third base coach and manager Joey Skip Martinez, as Potter will step off the mound and await for a big at-bat here against Morris.
One runner in scoring position for the righty hitter. First pitch. Drilled up to center, and it's corralled by Skylar Mays for 1 out. Back to the second baseman. But Mason ultimately survives and is still at the bag.
And James Mason at second base almost got bailed out there on the errant throw from Skylar Mays. He thought that ball was getting down. He was looking to score. Committed to third way too early as he was almost doubled up, as that ball just seemed to hang in the air forever.
Mason barely staying alive. He's in scoring position still for the Muckdogs, which brings up the lefty second baseman Caleb Walker. Walker reached first on a fielder's choice. and popped out to third at his second at bat. He launches the first pitch out to third again, and Sullivan snares it in for the second out.
So that'll bring up the center fielder, Travis Hammond, who tries not to let that leadoff double from James Mason go to waste here in the sixth. Leadoff double from Mason. It was then a fly out to the center fielder, Mays, and then a pop out to the third baseman, Adam Sullivan. And a big AB here for Hammond. Base hit will score Mason from second.
Hammond trying to find his groove. He's 0 for 2 with a pair of flyouts. First pitch taken by the righty for a 1-0 count. So 2 gone in the bottom of the sixth. Mason on second for the Muckdogs. Batavia up 4-0. Potter, glove at the belt, looks at second, deals the pitch. Drilled out to shallow left center. It trickles into the outfield. The throw from Grundy gets one. No outs. Not only does Mason score, but it's a double for Travis Hammond. And the crowd is loving it.
What an at-bat from Travis Hammond. Ropes that one to Grundy out in left field. And James Mason showing off the afterburners as he was able to score from second base. And Hammond advances to second on the throw from Grundy.
Just what the doctor ordered, as that brings up the leadoff hitter, Lucas Lopez. Batavia ahead 5-0. Hammond at second for the Muckdogs. A righty-lefty matchup. Lopez has had a slow start tonight, had 2 groundouts, and then reached first off of an error. Sits on the first off-speed pitch for ball 1. Potter. Ball hanging out of the right arm. Takes a quick peek at Hammond and cannons the next pitch. Up and inside to the lefty. And Lopez stands flat-footed to count 2-0.
Yeah, so what I was saying.
2 balls, no strikes. Next pitch from Potter. Chopped between the second and first base gap. It rolls into right field. Lopez reaches first, and Hammond scores for another run. Make that 6-0 Muckdogs in the bottom of the sixth. And the crowd is roaring.
So an RBI single for Lucas Lopez. And the Muckdogs tack on 2 more so far in the bottom of the sixth, looking to extend that lead even more, taking the foot off the gas pedal. Not Skip Martinez's play calling today.
First pitch to the next hitter, Butler, is grazed foul to the netting. 0-1 count. Butler scored on his first at-bat. Was the first run of the game for the Muckdogs, and since then, Batavia has never looked back. 6-0 the score, 2 gone in the bottom of the sixth, 1 runner on for Batavia. Next pitch. Butler stays patient on the low off-speed throw. Count falls to 0-2. A righty-righty face-off between Potter and Butler. Next pitch. Grounded between first and second, rolls into center field. Butler reaches first, and Lopez reaches third. Runners at the corners with 2 gone in the bottom of the sixth.
And the hit and run there on play for the Muckdogs worked to perfection between Butler and Lopez. Lopez on the move. Butler puts it right where the second baseman Piazza was. And now the corners are occupied for Batavia. Butler stands at first base and Lopez at third for the left fielder, Sean Mendoz.
Mendoz flew out to right field in his last at-bat. A right-handed hitter. Just needs a base hit to bring his teammate home. sits on the first pitch. The throw from the dish to second does not get Butler out. He beats it to the bag, and he advances 90 feet.
So now 2 in scoring position for Sean Mendoz with that stolen bag from Butler. He's 11th on the season.
1-0 offering. Fouled off over the press box to even the count. Count 1-1 for Mendoz. Next pitch from Potter. Curveball down and out. Gets Mendoz looking, and count falls to 1-2. Potter, glove at the chin. Lowers it, kicks, and deals. High curveball. Mendoz again refuses to offer. Count 2 balls, 2 strikes. Next throw to Mendoz is up and away for a full count. Potter lifts and tosses. Outside for ball 4. And the bases are loaded with 2 outs. Landon, another run could very well score.
Batavia threatening once again now as the bases are juiced for the catcher, James Bolton, as the infield will come together and talk to Garrett Potter. There is action in the Doubledays bullpen. And we'll see if anyone comes into this game or if Potter will stay in and try to extinguish this opportunity for Batavia as they look to tack on some more runs to their 6-0 advantage.
And talk about Batavia coming into this game with vengeance. Muckdogs fell 8-6 to the Doubledays earlier this week in comeback fashion by Auburn. So runners on every base, 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. Batavia up 6-0. The righty, James Bolton, comes back up to the plate. Had a fly out to right field in his last at-bat. Sits on the first off-speed outside throw.
So it's speed on all the bases for the Muckdogs. Lopez stands at third, Butler at second, and Mendoz at first.
Potter lowers the glove and deals. Swing and a miss from Bolton. Count falls to 1-1. And for Bolton on the season, he's got 20 RBIs. Ranks him 4th among all Muckdogs hitters. Takes the next pitch for ball 2. So you look at a guy, Landon, that's been consistent for this Muckdogs squad in the last few weeks. Leads the team in batting average. What better person to have at the plate than Bolton in this situation?
One of the leaders on this team, Skip Martinez trusts, and he's been as steady as it gets since coming back from that injury early on in this one.
3-1 count for the catcher, Bolton. Next pitch finds its way into the zone for a full count. And Potter just one strike away from getting out of the jam. Throw from Potter. Slapped foul over the netting by Bolton. Count stands at 3-2.
And with the payoff pitch once again on the way from Potter, runners will be in motion. Butler from second, Mendoz at first, and just 90 feet away is the starting shortstop, Lucas Lopez.
Potter deals the pitch. Low at the plate for ball 4, which walks Bolton and brings Lopez home.
So an RBI walk for James Bolton, tacking on to that RBI total on the season, now hitting 21. As Sean Pope will now look to do some damage with the bases juiced once again. But it looks like he's going to go and face off against a new pitcher as Auburn will make a call to the bullpen.
Sean Pope off to a bit of a slow start today. Singled in his first at-bat, but then flew out twice, one to center field, one to right field. You have the bases loaded still with 2 outs. And he walks over to Batavia head coach Joey Martinez at third to have a quick conversation. The Muckdogs, though, responding from Tuesday's 8-6 loss with a 7-0 lead in the bottom of the 6th. Couldn't have asked for a better start if you're Batavia. New pitcher on the mound for the Doubledays. Looks like it's Anders Axelson, a junior out of Keuka College from Lansing, New York. A right-handed pitcher who begins to warm up. On the summer, he's appeared in 3 games and in just 4 innings pitched has tallied 3 strikeouts, 7 walks, and has let up 4 hits. An 11.25 ERA with a 0-0 record for the Doubledays. So while he warms up, we'll take a quick break. But don't go anywhere, because the Muckdogs will be ready to hit shortly. Sean Pope making his way to the batter's box for the Muckdogs. First pitch from the stretch from Axelson. Grounded up to first base where Bale hauls it in and steps on the bag for the final out. So the inning ends with 1 pitch from the new pitcher Axelson. But the Muckdogs add more runs to go ahead 7-0. Heading into the 7th inning.
Yo, what's happening? My knee! All right, we'll get you in here. Come on. We're gonna get you profile speed checked out, all right? All right. You good? Yep. All right, let's go. You look at it in the trainer's table. Okay. Gotta get this done quick.
Oh, what's up, guys?
Something wrong with his knee. I'm not sure what it is.
His knee, huh?
My knee.
Let's take a look. Nothing I can do. Let's send out a Rochester Regional Health. The best medicine services in Western New York.
Start of the 7th inning in Dwyer Stadium. The Muckdogs hold a commanding 7-0 lead against the Doubledays with Auburn's Adam Sullivan getting ready to hit for the Doubledays. Sullivan 0 for 2 on the evening, and a fly out to center field followed by a ground out to first. Still trying to find his groove. And he can do so here. The first pitch from Misiti. Fastball low and outside to the lefty. Brings the count to 1-0.
So Misiti on the mound to start the top of the 7th inning for the Muckdogs. He's thrown 79 pitches. Still movement in the bullpen.
Swing and a miss from Sullivan to even the count at 1 apiece.
And not sure who that is. But they appear to be warm. They've been thrown for a while.
Misiti, the starting pitcher, has been in the whole game as his next fastball paints the inside part of the plate for a 2-1 count. Misiti kicks and deals. Fastball right down the outside corner. Makes it a hitter's count for the lefty, Sullivan. Misiti's next pitch, up and outside to walk the third baseman to first. And the Muckdogs meeting at the mound to talk things over, possibly the end of the day for the starting pitcher, Matt Misiti.
So with that leadoff walk from Sullivan, it looks like Matt Misiti's day will be over. And our social media guy was right. It is going to be Reed Markham now entering the game for Batavia. So while he warms up, we'll step away with more Muckdogs baseball. Coming right back.
Man, I have some great cards here.
Well, you better have the house. That's what I got, baby. Go Dogs! God.
Why are you guys gambling here?
Because we got nowhere else to go.
Batavia Downs is right down the road.
I heard they have horse racing.
Batavia Downs, Hotel and Casino.
8315 Park Road in Batavia, New York.
What do we got here today? What do you guys got?
How can I help you?
What do you recommend?
I don't know, we just got a fresh batch of Eli Fish's Muckdog Ale.
Muckdog Ale? Go Dogs! Give me some of those.
Muckdog
Ale coming right up.
Muckdog Ale!
Go Dogs, baby!
Reed Markham coming into the game for the Muckdogs, signifying the end of the day for the pitcher, Matt Misiti.
Markham has a 1-0 record this season for the Muckdogs, thrown 14 innings, has allowed 12 hits, has a 5.14 ERA, 22 strikeouts, and he's holding his opponents to a .235 batting average.
Markham, a freshman out of Lindsey Wilson College, a right-handed pitcher. In his first summer with the Muckdogs, and has been typically a reliever for Batavia, coming in late in games, getting the job done, and is one of 19 throwers for the Muckdogs, one of Batavia's biggest advantages this season.
One of the 19 electrifying arms for Skip Martinez and the Muckdogs. Markham has been one of Skip Martinez's go-to guys. This is now his 13th appearance on the season, which leads the team, all of which out of the bullpen. Looking to continue his dominant performance in the summer this evening.
Anthony Piazza up to the plate, batting righty for the Doubledays. Sits on the first pitch for ball 1.
So Markham now on the mound for Misiti. And Misiti is responsible for Sullivan at first base if he were to come across and score.
Next throw to Piazza, taken for a quick 2-0 count. Piazza struck out in his first at-bat, was then walked, and eventually got out due to a double play. Markham kicks and tosses, ball's hammered up to right center, and the right fielder, Morris, hauls it in for out number 1. One gone after the pitching change in the top of the 7th. Batavia up 7-0. One runner on first for the Doubledays. It's the third baseman, Adam Sullivan, and Alfred Hody, the catcher, steps up to hit for Auburn. First pitch, slapped foul, first base side. Hody, pair of groundouts on the day. His second one sparked a double play for the Muckdogs. Ball hangs out of Markham's right arm, puts it in his glove, kicks and tosses. Fastball paints the outside corner for a even 1-1 count. Markham a quick turn to first, kicks and deals. Swing and a miss from Piazza. The throw to the second baseman, Walker. Not Leighton, rather that was a swing and miss from Hody, the catcher. Sullivan at the second base bag safely. He's in scoring position. 1-2 the count for the righty Hody. Markham from the stretch deals the next pitch. He goes down looking, and Hody, upset about that call, stared down the umpire for a few seconds, but nevertheless, 2 gone at the top of the 7th.
He'll share some words with the umpire, talking about his day and what he had for dinner last night, but at the end of the day, he's going to go back to the bullpen and put the catcher's gear on and try to mount a comeback for Auburn.
Skylar Mays, the center fielder, up for the Doubledays. 0 for 2 with a pair of groundouts. First pitch to the righty is sent up between the second and first base gap. Walker scoops it up, the throw to first, gets the final out. No runs on no hits, no errors. And midway through the 7th, the Muckdogs lead 7 runs to none.
Man, I have some great cards here.
Well, you better have the house. That's what I got, baby. Go Dogs! God.
Why are you guys gambling here?
Because we got nowhere else to go.
Batavia Downs is right down the road.
I heard they have horse racing.
Batavia Downs, Hotel and Casino.
8315 Park Road in Batavia, New York.
What do we got here today? What do you guys got?
How can I help you?
What do you recommend?
I don't know, we just got a fresh batch of Eli Fish's Muckdog Ale.
Muckdog Ale? Go Dogs! Give me some of those.
Muckdog Ale coming right up! Muckdog Ale!
Go Dogs, baby!
Anders Axelson leading off. Rather, he's at the mound for Auburn in the bottom of the 7th. The Muckdogs lead 7-0 And Landon, Batavia continuing to pile on more runs. 3 scored in the previous inning. They're firing on all cylinders tonight.
And they're not going to stop, Jared, as 7 runs, not enough. They want to bury this Auburn Doubledays team tonight. The last meeting in the regular season between these two squads. And it'd be a great game for them, a really exclamation point between these two ball clubs. They've traded blows all season, but in the last outing, I know Skip Martinez wants to go out with a bang.
Justin Espinal leading off for Batavia. He designated hitter. He got to first off a fielder's choice, and his first at-bat was walked and then grounded out. Takes the first high and inside pitch for a ball. And you look at a loss like that earlier this week when Batavia lost thanks to 4 runs that scored late in the game by Auburn. And really the only thing you can do is shake it off and focus on the next game, and that's what Batavia has done in this one. From the very jump, scoring 2 runs and never looking back. Striking first has been so important for this squad all year long, as Espinal has a 2-1 count. It's a righty-righty matchup. Axelson lowers the shoulders, fires the pitch. Hacked at, but fouled off first base side. And you know, Landon, it's the last regular season meeting between Batavia and Auburn, but these two teams could very well end up facing off in the second round of the playoffs. Batavia, the 1 seed in the West right now. Auburn, the 2 seed. So if they both win their respective first round games, they're meeting in that Western second round. And who knows? It could really be anybody's game.
It would be a rematch from last year here at Dwyer Stadium. Same setting.
Ball chopped up to third by Espinal, scooped up by Sullivan. And the first baseman, Bale, catches the toss for the out.
It'd be the same setting as last season where Muckdogs' hopes of a PGCBL championship were crushed by Auburn, the 4 seed. This year, could be looking at a 1-2 matchup here. And the Muckdogs, you just feel like if they're finding their rhythm, again, like they know they can, this is a dangerous squad that nobody wants to see. West Division or East Division, they want to run into this Muckdogs team when they are on all cylinders come postseason time.
Batavia has been in the PGCBL for 4 seasons now. Didn't make the playoffs in 2021, and then made the postseason for 2 consecutive seasons. As the next hitter, James Mason, delivers a ground ball up to left center for a base hit.
And James Mason continues to have a great day, gets an opportunity in the lineup, and his first at-bat grounded into a double play. Since then, 3 for 3 with 2 doubles, and now a base hit.
TJ Morris coming up to the plate, the right fielder. 1 for 2 on the evening. Had a single and then a pair of flyouts. First pitch from Axelson. Low with the dirt, gets away from the catcher Hody, but he recovers the throw to second. Does not beat Mason, who turned on the wheels to get to the bag in time, and he's in scoring position.
Mason saw that ball squared away from Hody behind the dish. Takes off for second base, and Hody, great throw down to Piazza, just not in time to get Mason.
Mason already a 3-step lead off of second. Axelson, his delivery. Low and inside to the feet of Morris for ball 2. Axelson, glove at the belt. From the stretch, guns the pitch. Grounded up to third, but it bounces foul. 2-1 the count for the freshman. One gone at the bottom of the 7th. Muckdogs lead 7-0. Next pitch from Saul Axelson. Taken for a full count by Morris. Axelson, I second. Throws the payoff pitch. Way outside, and Morris is easily walked to first. 2 runners on for the Muckdogs in the bottom of the 7th with just 1 out. Brings up the second baseman, Caleb Walker. Walker has had a pair of pop-outs in each of his last 2 at-bats. Awaits the first pitch. It's a lefty-righty matchup between Walker and Axelson. First throw. Skied out but foul. Lands behind the Muckdogs dugout. Count 0-1. And Landon, I saw you taking some pictures earlier. How about this view we have right now at Dwyer Stadium?
Beautiful view here, beautiful night for baseball, not too hot. And what more can you ask for on a Saturday summer night, watching a good ball game with that view in the background, just behind the left field fence?
The summer vibes are in full effect as I try to get a picture myself. 1-1 the count for the lefty Walker. The next throw, way outside, and what a recovery by Hody, having to move far left of his position.
And I'll tell you what, Hody's having a rough night at the plate, but behind the dish, he's having a fantastic day. He's made so many plays for Auburn. It's not going to show it as it's 7-0, but he stopped some runs and some runners advancing with his incredible plays behind the dish.
He got Bolton out earlier today on a double play. Swing and miss by Walker. The throw to third does not beat the runner. And Mason, all of a sudden, 90 feet away from scoring. He's already scored once today. But you look at a guy like Hody, he's done the best he can when Auburn's on the field to minimize this run. The next pitch is clobbered foul for a 2-2 count. Morris at second, Mason at third for Batavia. Payoff pitch from Axelson, grounded up to first, and Bale steps on the bag for another out, but Mason advances from third to put another run on the board. It's 8-0. Muckdogs ahead. Travis Hammond back at the plate for the Muckdogs. Takes the first inside pitch for a ball. Two outs in the bottom of the 7th. The Muckdogs lead 8-0. One runner on third. Axelson deals the next pitch. It's at the dirt for ball 2 to Travis Hammond. Axelson, glove at the belt, lifts the leg and tosses. Swing and a miss from Hammond. That's the first strike of the at-bat. Hammond steps back into the box. Glove in front of the left leg of Axelson. He lowers the shoulders and guns the pitch. Fastball low and outside to Hammond. He waves Morris off at third. And it's a hitter's count for the center fielder. Axelson looks at the dirt, gets set. Cannons the pitch. Upstairs and in for ball 4 to Hammond. And he's going 90 feet. Top of the lineup back at the plate for Batavia. The leadoff hitter, Lucas Lopez, getting ready to swing once again. Landon Lopez was off to a slow start, had a pair of groundouts, but he singled in his last at-bat. He's found his rhythm.
And with Morris at third and Hammond at first, both with exceptional speed, Hammond could easily put on the burners and score from first if one's hitting the gap from Lopez.
Hammond, 17 stolen bases on the summer. Next pitch to Lopez. Taken, and the throw to second not in time. Hammond right there on cue, showing off his speed. Moves to second. Make that 18 bags stolen for the center fielder. Count 0-1 for the lefty shortstop. Next pitch, curveball at the feet of Lopez. Evens the count at 1-1. Morris still at third. 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Axelson, his delivery, way outside. And Lopez stays patient to bring the count to 2-1. Axelson from the stretch gets set. Darts the pitch. Another one outside to the lefty. He's struggling to find the zone, and it's costing him. Hitters count for the shortstop, Lopez. Three balls, 1 strike. Next pitch from Axelson. Far away to the catcher, Hody. He's running behind the backstop to corral it, but not before Morris scores to make it 9-0 Batavia.
This one getting out of hand for Auburn. Late in this one at Dwyer Stadium, Muckdogs now lead 9-0, and Auburn's manager will come out and have some words for Axelson on the mound.
Just want to make sure the entire team is on the same page as Butler comes up to the plate. Singled his last time around. Lopez at first. Hammond at third. 2 outs and the bottom of the 7th. And Hammond talking with Coach Martinez at third. Jake Butler, righty hitter, back at the plate. Takes the first pitch for a strike. And Landon, Batavia had another victory against Auburn like this earlier in the summer. It was an 11-0 win on the road in Falcon Park. Came in game 1 of a doubleheader. The Muckdogs would go on to sweep that doubleheader. Just a handful of wins that have been close for the Muckdogs, and some that have been a blowout like tonight. 0-2 count for Butler. Next pitch gets away from Hody, and another runner scores. It's Hammond flying in from third, and that puts the Muckdogs up to double digits.
Jared, you mentioned, and that's going to be the ball game with a 10-run mercy rule in advance in taking place. And you mentioned the Muckdogs having a couple one-sided victories. Muckdogs actually have outscored Auburn in the series 34-18. Now tonight, with the 10-0 victory, they now outscore them 44-18, and they now win the series 4-2-1 through the 7 games these two teams have played in the regular season. So, if they do
what
that,
a way to respond. We've been saying it all game long. Batavia loses 8-6 here at home earlier in the week, and you come out and you win 10-0. That is a statement win if I've ever seen it. A must-win game. Batavia in a slump coming into today. We talked about it in the pregame show. 2 losses in league play, followed by 2 exhibition losses in non-league play. So you come out today, you need a must-win. It comes against the second-best team in the division in Auburn. And overall, just wow. You have to be impressed if you're a Muckdogs fan.
And for Batavia, they completely dominated the Doubledays tonight. 10-0 victory. They out-hit them 11-3. Auburn has 3 errors. Batavia only 1 on the day coming in that first inning. But the name was Matt Misiti on the mound. 6 innings pitched, 6 scoreless innings. Gave up no runs, had 3 hits, 6 walks, a little bit of a control issue once again tonight, and 3 strikeouts. So with Matt Misiti working on his fastball and his command a little bit more come postseason time, he's one of those dangerous arms that we talk about, and the ace for the Muckdogs. Matt Misiti continues to roll.
One of the most valuable pitchers for Batavia this summer, and that'll do it. On behalf of the entire Muckdog staff and Landon Washburn, I'm Jared Valentin, saying thank you so much for tuning in to tonight's game. The Muckdogs are on the road tomorrow against the Red Wings. And tonight, Batavia earns a statement win and gets out of a slump with a 10-0 victory against